everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Gabby. I'm 27, I live here in regional Victoria, Australia. I'm a qualified pastry chef and I'm also a stay-at-home mum currently because I'm on maternity leave as I just had my second baby, and I also am a mother to a 2-year-old. So I had a baby. This is Mason and he is currently a week old. Today it is Saturday 5th or the 6th of something or other, and I gave birth to Mason last Friday on the 29th of May. I'll go into a bit of a debrief on how my labour went and what happened later on. But yeah, we've been at home for, it'll be a week later tonight. I was only in hospital for like 24 hours or something like that because I actually felt very good. So yeah, we've been home for a week now and he has just been the most amazing little baby. This whole postpartum experience has just been really, really good compared to the last time. If you are new and don't know what my last postpartum experience was like, I was pretty much bedridden. If you hadn't heard the story, I had an epidural. I had side effects from the epidural, so I ended up getting a spinal migraine. I had to go get a blood patch procedure because I had the migraine for literally a week and it wouldn't go away. Pretty much bedridden because I just could not get up because of the pressure. I also had to get an episiotomy and my stitches were very tight, so everything was just sore and I was in not a good state. Whereas this time around, I'm feeling amazing. Definitely not anywhere close as to how bad as I was last time around. Like I needed to stay in hospital for the duration that I could only have. That I had nurses coming every second day or something like that. So yeah, such a different experience. And I feel like I'm just enjoying the newborn bubble because I did not get to enjoy it very well that very first week. And it's just been so nice, isn't it? Oh, we've done some spit. That's okay. I've already got it on me anyway. So today it is Saturday. What does it say on there? Oh, it's the 6th. There you go. It's the 6th of June. What our week has been like. So Amelia had been staying at my parents' house while we had Mason, and she came home sick. So for the last week we've been isolating her from the baby. I've not been like touching her or anything because I don't want to get sick and give it to the baby. So last night she slept at my parents' house and then tonight she'll be sleeping at Nick's parents' house, just again to isolate her and keep her away from the house while she's not feeling 100%. Just exactly what you need when you bring a newborn baby home, is an absolute sick toddler. And today Nick has gone to work because I don't have Amelia to do with. I just have the little newborn today. So I said to them, like, feel free to just go do some work if you wanted to, get out of the house. He's been on full-on toddler duty for this week. I'm sure he's wanting some adult interaction instead of discussing everything with a 2-year-old. So today it is just me and baby. I have a few jobs that I want to do. I need to change out bed sheets, put some washing away. I got 2 loads of washing that I did yesterday and I'm going to put all of that away. I need to register little man and I want to get out of the house with him today. I need to go get a couple of things from the grocery store, like some chicken, and I need to go get some fresh rolls for the week. So I want to try and get out of the house with him today. So I'm going to give him a little top up of formula in a second and then we'll try and get out of the house today. Just go on a little adventure, just a quick one, in and out. You won't even realize. So that is the plan for today. Come along with us, a day in the life with a newborn and toddler free. Look out! Look out! But yeah, come along with me for today. I'm gonna get ready to go head out into town and yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. food, Biggie food, I see you, Biggie food. So it's 12 o'clock or just after 12 o'clock. He did only just have a bottle. What time was it? 9:30. So it's been 2.5 hours. I was expecting that to happen because he mostly just had breast milk in a bottle. So breast milk doesn't last as long as formula does. And then he was topped up with just like the tiniest little bit of formula before I headed off into town. So this is just a full bottle of formula. So this should get us through until probably 4 o'clock. Generally gives it like a good 4-hour stretch. We'll have a nice big sleep. And then I have a full afternoon to get all the things done that I want to get done. He actually eats so much food. He's such a fat guts. Since he was 4 or 5 days old, he's been having 100ml bottles, which is a lot. So the boy loves his food, that's for sure. But yeah, this 100ml bottle should hopefully get through till about 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then hopefully the next bottle gets me through until 8:30, which will be perfect. Because then Nick and I will just go to bed. Generally how it works. And I will give you a debrief on what happened during labour. So my water broke at 10:30 on Thursday night. I had like this little gush of wee. I was actually getting up to go to the toilet because I just had a cup of tea before bed and I just had the urge to go to the toilet. And as I was getting up out of bed, I had the tiniest little gush come out. Honestly thought I pissed myself. Went to the toilet. This is very TMI, so if you don't like this sort of stuff, please fast forward. Went to the toilet, did a wee, and then as I was getting up off the toilet, I was still somehow leaking and I didn't know what it was. I put a pad on and Nick was like, oh, maybe should I ring Birth Suite? Like, yeah, maybe just give them a ring. And then we were talking to them and they confirmed me that what was going on was that my water was slowly breaking. So then we were just keeping an eye on having contractions possibly, which then started to happen 30 minutes later. They were extremely mild. They were like very intense period pain. It was just like in my lower tummy area, like where you would have a period pain. I had 3 consecutive ones that were 10 minutes apart, and then I rang my mum, and then I didn't have another contraction for about half an hour, and then another 20 minutes later I would have another one, and this just went on all night long. They were very mild. There would be times where I would have like 3 consecutive or 4 consecutive ones every 10 minutes, and then I'd have a big 45-minute break. And yeah, that just went on all night long. And then I rang the hospital again and they asked me to come in at 10 o'clock and they were just going to monitor me and just check on how the baby's going and just to confirm 100% that my water broke. So we went in there the next morning at 9 o'clock. They checked, baby was all okay. They did this like kind of test, not a cervical check because the doctor wouldn't allow them to do a cervical check because it could possibly induce labor, which they don't want. So she did this other test, like opens up your cervix and they could see the head possibly if you were dilated enough, and they said that they couldn't see a head, which means that I was less than 5 centimeters dilated at that point. And then they also did an ultrasound just to see whereabouts his head was. So apparently his head was like just in the position it needed to be to bring on labor. So she said that as my contractions were coming in and out, I would have some and then have a big 45-minute break and then I'd have more. It means that his head was like kind of like engaging and then not engaging and not engaging by like just a little bit. So she said, she's like, look, come back, go have lunch, go for a walk, go do some curbside walks, do whatever you can to like induce myself naturally. So we went back to my parents' house because my mum had Amelia. So we went back there. I went for an extremely long, slow walk because I was waddling like crazy. And I looked like an absolute nutter walking on the friggin' gutter all the way up and down the street. And nothing really happened. So then I went back to the hospital because they asked me to come back. They were just going to do some extra monitoring just to make sure his heartbeat was okay. And also like check on his movements because his movements were not like as normal. Like he was moving around in the morning, which he never really does. He only does it at night. So they just wanted to monitor him just for about an hour and a half. And came 2 o'clock or just after 2 o'clock, I had an extremely intense contraction. And then another 10 minutes later, I had another one. And then 8 minutes later, I had another one. And then it was on from there. They went 8 minutes and then 5 minutes and then 3 minutes and then 2 minutes. And they just got more and more and more intense. And it went 0 to 100 real fucking quickly. All my contractions then went from the front to the back. So I had another posterior labor, which was so painful. I also just didn't really have time to compress because it just went like bang, 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 bang very quickly. And it went just like reasonable pain to like extreme intense pain. They also didn't have a birth suite as of yet because all of the rooms were taken. The hospital here only has 4 birthing rooms or 5 birthing rooms, and all of them were taken. Everyone was just having their babies on Friday. So I was still in the consulting room when I went into labor. Thankfully, after an hour of being in the consulting room, they took me into a birth suite. What time was that? Like 3:30, and then it got to about 4:30 and I had the urge to push, and then it was just before 5 o'clock and I'd pushed him out. Done and dusted. It was literally an under 3 hour labor. So you couldn't ask for anything better. I pushed him out naturally, unmedicated, absolute cooked, by the way. The admiration I have for those who do it naturally and unmedicated, because that was the most fucked thing I've ever done in my life. The pain was so intense. I don't even understand, like I don't know how other women like control their breathing while they're pushing, because I was just pushing like crazy because I just wanted to get him the hell out of me. Because of that, I did have to get just a couple of stitches. Like I think I only had 2 or 3 stitches. Like it was pretty mild, but like I was pushing him out so friggin' hard. I was like, I could not care what damage I was causing down there or how many stitches I had to get. I just wanted to get him the friggin' hell out. And then yeah, I think I only pushed for like, it was less than half an hour, and out he came, all done and dusted in one afternoon. 100% the most cooked experience I've ever had. But recovery has been incredible. I felt so good. I felt a little bit sore the next day. Obviously I'm sore from the stitches and all that sort of stuff, but like coming home, I was able to like do stuff, clean, pack up, move around. It's just been very easy, this recovery. Because again, my recovery last time, I was literally bedridden and I was sore for like 3 to 4 weeks afterwards. And it was a very like tough experience. Whereas this time around is so different. So different. There was definitely positives and negatives of like doing both different experiences. So like I had the epidural for my first one, and then with this one, I honestly didn't have time. I had one choice, and that was to push him out because he went so quickly. There was literally no other option for me other than to just push him out. Like with Amelia, I've been in labor for like 10 hours. Like it was a fully posterior labor. All of the contractions were on my back, hips, thighs, just like this one, but obviously it just didn't go for as long. For 10 hours of that, I was like, I could not do it anymore, and I needed to get an epidural, which is also okay to do. You need painkillers, girlfriend, get those painkillers, get that pain relief. But this time around, like, had no time. I also was supposed to get like an IV drip sort of ordeal because I'd broken my waters 18 hours before, but I just missed the cutoff time for that, so I was just before the 18-hour mark. But again, had no time to go put a bloody drip in me because I was pushing that bloody baby out. Did not have time for anything. So yeah, that is my labor story. I just really wanted to get into labor after literally not sleeping at all the night before because of the in and out mild contractions, which made me not sleep. I do not want to have to go home and do that all over again. And thankfully I didn't go home, because could you imagine laboring that badly in the car? Because I couldn't, especially since I live half an hour out of town. I could not imagine being stuck in the car dealing with posterior contractions for 30 minutes. Stuff that. I'm very thankful that I was able to just go into active labour while I was literally in the hospital. It was very convenient. So yeah, and then I was only in the hospital for 24 hours because I felt really good. You can leave the hospital, I think you can stay for 2 nights, or you can leave as early as 4 hours, which is crazy. Who's just done and dusted getting out of there after 4 hours? I have no idea. But we stayed there for the night because I had the stitches. I just wanted to make sure that like all was good and that I was all good, but I woke up feeling pretty great. So we just did a couple of like checks for the baby before we headed off, and then that was it. 1 night in the hospital, done and dusted. So for the next one, if I have another one, that baby will just be slipping out of me quick and speedy. God, could you imagine if I had a third one? I'd literally have it probably on the side of the road by the sounds of it. I'm just about to fill up my bottles with some water just to like organize ourselves for when we need to feed the baby. I like to have it all organized, especially for nighttime. You can just grab a bottle, quickly heat it up, and it's all ready to go. I quickly just thought I'd show you what my sterilizing station looks like. The sterilizer that we use is the Tommy Tippy microwavable one. You can fit like 4, you could probably squeeze in an extra bottle in possibly, but I just do 4 bottles. For me, it's very convenient. If people want to get these massive sterilizers, that's totally up to them. I just choose to do the microwavable one because it's just, for me, it's convenient. It just goes in the microwave for 7 minutes, sits in there for an extra 5 minutes, and then it's all ready to go. It was also very cheap. I've seen some of the sterilizers, they can be quite expensive, whereas this one was pretty cheap. It was under $100. And then what I do is I wash my bottles and my pump all in just a container. I just have it sitting here in the sink. I don't like the idea of putting the bottles in the sink and cleaning them in the sink because of like extra bacteria from cleaning all of your other dishes. So I just use a container, and then every couple of days I'll swap it because I have another one of these. I've got 2 of them. I'll just swap it out, pop this in the dishwasher, and just use the other one and just like swap over. So yeah, I'll just pop all of my dirty bottles and my pump in here and wash it in very hot soapy water, pop it in there, and then pop it in the microwave, and then it's all done. Looks very ugly on my countertop and it's annoying because it just takes up so much space, and I now have to have it out here for the next 12 months. Love that for me. Yeah, that's like my system, and it's very quick and easy because I have everything all here all ready to go. I have my scales. I always have it sitting here on the bench anyway. But I have my scales. I have the formula just sitting here, and I also have like a cupboard here that I usually keep the formula in anyway, and like extra bottles. And the microwave's right here, the kettle's right there. It's just all convenient. Yeah, I see some people, they have like so many bottles and they just do one massive clean at the end of the day because they just use the sink, and they want to use the sink obviously for other things, but just save you having to do that and having to clean the sink all day every day, which would be really annoying. Definitely swap out for just a container because you can just pop it in the dishwasher, get another one out. So yeah, that's my system. So I'm just going to fill up these bottles. Got a fair few of them now because I just went and bought some extra ones this morning. I buy the Tommy Tippy bottles. Our personal preference, each to their own. But anyway, let's fill up these bottles.
Sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love. Stop giving back. Honeysuckle, fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like that.
7 o'clock, he gets a bit fussy, which is not convenient because that's when we're usually getting into the bedtime routine with Amelia. So that'll be interesting. Thank God she's not here tonight, so I'm not having to stress about it all, because it was quite hard work the other night, that's for sure. I think I'm going to sign the vlog off here because I'll be dealing with Fuss Boy here. And then I'm going to do a pump because I really need to do a pump, and then do the night feed and get ready for bed. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and if you enjoy my content, then definitely subscribe to follow along for more in the future. Anyway, let's go deal with Fuss Boy, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.